Hello, welcome to Kellogg Public Library's virtual story time. My name is Sherry. The story I'm going to share with you today is The Red Tin Box by Matthew Burgess. On her 8th birthday, when the sun was peeking over the treetops and everyone in the house was still asleep, Maude slipped outside and across the wet grass to the edge of the woods. At the foot of the flowering dogwood, in a soft spot where she once found a fallen nest, the earth seemed to whisper, "Here." Maude dug and dug and dug until the hole was deep enough to hold a red tin box. Only Maude knew the treasures she placed inside the box. Only Maude heard the words she said as she buried it. Far overhead, the sun kissed the clouds pink, and an angle of geese honked excitedly. And Maude made a promise to herself. Maude grew and grew and grew, as all children do. She had a daughter of her own, and she grew too. But Maude never forgot the red tin box. In one corner of her mind it glowed, though one by one the treasures she had placed inside slipped from her memory. One November afternoon, Maude was seized with a feeling like a bright spring sunrise. The next day, Maude picked up her granddaughter after school. Together they turned east as they drove and drove and drove 4 towns over. Across the river she swam in as a girl, past the road to the old schoolhouse. Maude told Eve about the red tin box, about the hole she dug beneath the dogwood, about the promise she made when she was 8 years old. But what's inside the box? How do you know it's still there? These were questions Maude couldn't answer. They sat quietly side by side in worry and in wonder. It was possible they wouldn't find it. So many years had passed. But there was the dogwood that Maude daydreamed under as a girl, read books under, fell asleep in the grass under. Holding her granddaughter's hand, Maude walked the perimeter of the tree until one spot seemed to whisper, "Here." They took turns nudging the shovels into the cold ground. Digging was hard, but with each small scoop, the dirt became a little softer, until suddenly the ring of a metallic clink. Eve watched as her grandmother lifted the treasures out, examining them one by one. A tiny toy elephant, a marble like a tiger's eye, an ancient piece of candy wrapped in silver foil, a costume mustache, a brown bottle, a bird's nest woven with purple string, and an iridescent, ear-shaped shell. Once Maude let out such a high-pitched "ha!" that a dog in the distance began barking. Maude told many stories on the drive home. Sometimes Eve asked questions, sometimes she laughed when her grandmother laughed, and it didn't bother her when her grandmother cried. Not one bit. When they arrived, Maude placed the red tin box into her granddaughter's hands. "This is for you." For overhead the stars blinked, an angle of geese honked in the dusky sky, and Eve, seized with the feeling, made a promise to herself. And that's the end of our story.